Welcome back to Pancake. What is going on with my hair? Goodness, that is calamitous. Welcome back to Pancake FC, the YouTube channel named after the fantasy team named after my dog. Today, we are doing some MLS Fantasy pretty late in the week, but the game unlocked late anyway, and better late than never, hey? So let's get to it. We're going to do our tier list, and then we're going to go ahead and put my team together for the next week, and right before that, we will review how my team did last week as well. I'm as always joined by my co-host, compatriot, and companion, Pancake. She is somewhere over there behind me on the other side of the room. Doing nothing, basically. Doing nothing. So let's go ahead and get into it. I haven't really actually this week done a ton of research into a lot of this stuff, so I do have the schedule open on one side because I'm probably going to forget who's playing who. We'll start with goalkeepers and move up from there. So I've got William Yarbrough. I'm pretty sure he plays in a late game. It's a pretty simple game slate this weekend, just games on Saturday with a 3-hour window. Excuse me. In between, this is a good start to the video. In between game times. So as far as the 9:30 guys go, and for some reason 9:25, I think it's pretty much a little bleak in general. Yarbrough's there, and I think he's the best option from these games, in my opinion. San Jose did just keep a clean sheet somehow, so there's that. But hopefully your goalkeeper from the earlier games and your keeper will hit, so you don't have to go to somebody like Yarbrough. One of those options is Roman Celentano. I do like him. And our tiers, by the way, start, bench, fade. And obviously, if you're doing a keeper, you would start Yarbrough and bench Celentano. This is just kind of by status. Obviously, Celentano's a better choice than Yarbrough. So Cincinnati do host Charlotte. Charlotte's offense is not great, so I don't think that is a bad choice at all. Bono, maybe. I should have made more than 3 tiers. Could I make another tier real fast? Here we go. Okay, let's toss in. Let's put our fun punt tier back in. I think you can't really do this without the fun punt tier. Those are too similar. How about that? There you go. All right, Bono, excuse me. Fun punt, I think. DC United's defense is extremely unreliable, but Nashville's offense is reliably poor. So if you want to take a punt on Bono in these early games, why not? I like Ivicic too. I think he's a fun punt as well against Orlando. New England is missing a lot of players though, but as far as defenses go, there's really not a lot of great options this week. I do really like Houston's defense. I don't think I have Clark here on the tier list, but I do have Griffin Dorsey. But Steve Clark is also a very good option this week. I would definitely put him in the start tier if I'd thought to add him. I'm going to stick Griffin Dorsey in there, though, just representative of the whole Houston defense. You're going to see me, actually, when I put my team together, go very heavy on Houston defense. I like this matchup quite a bit against Minnesota. And that's how I feel about that. I big time just lost my train of thought. Julian Gressel, who does Miami play? Miami have a bye week, don't they? Why did I put these guys on the tier list? I think I have Alba on here too. I do. All right, ignore that. Aaron Herrera, I think is fun bench play for DC. You do get a bit of attacking upside, and I do like that. Obviously, fade Gressel. He's not playing this week. Same with Alba. Brooks Lennon, I would actually also fade. Atlanta are just really, they tore their whole season up and are starting just to rebuild, it seems like. I mean, they're selling everybody, making some good money for sure, but I don't know, the way they blew up their season was just so stark and dramatic. I don't know how to feel about it. But Lennon away against Montreal. Montreal's really not that bad of a home team, to be honest with you, but I'm not feeling Lennon. I'm actually not really feeling Wagner either, although he's probably still, his output's good enough for a bench spot. So, not a bad pick. Gomez, I do like quite a bit this week for Real Salt Lake. I like this matchup against Portland quite a bit, so I do have him there. Espinoza, not a bad matchup either. I'd probably stick him on a bench, though, against Sporting KC. Mateusz Bogusz, not particularly interested in. Columbus are one of the best away teams in the league. Paintsel, I think, is a fun punt if you want to go that direction. Cole Bassett is in really good form right now, although the Red Bulls are a tough customer, especially defensively. But if you want to punt on the guy in form, I guess why not? Santi Rodriguez, I do like some this week. New York plays Chicago. Chicago just lost 1-0 to San Jose, so not bad. New York are not a great away team, though. But I'll probably actually, we'll drop Santi down one to fun punt. Luciano Acosta, obviously start him. He's the guy. He is just the guy. Diego Luna, I think, is a really good option too this week. I would actually stick him full on to start. He's in really, really good form right now. And like I mentioned earlier, I do like the matchup for Salt Lake. Ryan Gauld, I'm also very high on this week. St. Louis are missing a lot of players. They're another team that they're kind of waiting for their new rivals to come in. That'll give them quite a boost. But for now, they're in bad shape. In bad shape for sure. Really weird firing of Bradley Carnell. Ricky Pooch, obviously start. He should be 100% back and good and ready to go. Vander, until he stops overperforming all his stats and just crushing it, keep starting him. Vrioni, I actually don't mind this week at all. He's in very good form right now. They're going up against a poor Orlando City team. I don't mind Vrioni at all. Probably should stick him in fun punt though. Sticking him any higher than that is probably a little silly. But if you want to stick Vrioni on your bench, I don't mind it. I think Gabriel Peck is a really, really good option this week. I like the matchup against FC Dallas. He's in really good form. I'm super high on Gabriel Peck this week, and I really haven't seen him in a lot of other people's teams, and I'm surprised by that. I think he's a really good option this week. Brian White, I think, is a fun bench play. He just doesn't have the bonus points output for me to stick him anywhere higher than that, but he's in very good form right now, and they are, again, playing a out-of-sorts St. Louis team. Bernardeschi, who's Toronto playing against Philly? He's a fun punt. Toronto kind of feel like they're on a little bit of a downside right now, but Bernardeschi at home is always a really good choice. Chicho, pretty much anywhere, I think is always a really good choice. Benteke, I think, is a fun option this week if you want to take a swing there. He's not in great form right now. DC in general are not in good form right now, but they are playing a Nashville defense without Walker Zimmerman, so I don't think he's a bad choice from that perspective. Cucho's in crazy good form right now, but LAFC are like just about the best home team in the league. Their defense is very solid there as well, so I wouldn't go full all in on Cucho. I'm actually really not high on him this week at all. But he is in crazy good form right now, and he always puts up bonus points. So if you were to stick him on your bench, I think that's fine. Buanga, I kind of feel the same way about as Cucho against Columbus. Columbus are one of the best away teams in the league. Really good form right now. Their defense is really solid. Buanga at home is something else, though. But I don't know. I think it's a tricky matchup for both these teams offensively. So that's where I'm going to leave them. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave the tier list for now. We've got Celentano, Gomez, Gauld, Dorsey, Acosta, Luna, and keep in mind Dorsey is just kind of representative of the Houston Dynamo defense as a whole. Luna, Pooch, Peck, Evander, and Chicho in the start category. We've got Yarbrough, Herrera, White, Espinoza, Hernandez, aka Cucho. I'm like never call him Hernandez. Cucho, Wagner, and Buanga in the bench tier. I got Bono, Ivacic, Paintsel, Rodriguez, Vrioni, Benteke, Cole Bassett, and Federico Bernardeschi in the fun punt category. And then we've got Brooks Lennon and Mateusz Bogus in the fade category, and then Gressel and Alba because I put them on here for no reason. So let's go ahead and switch it over to the team building aspect. We're going to go ahead and first look back at how my team did last week. Before we get into anything else, this was definitely a step in the right direction for my team. If you've been watching recently, you know that I've been on a pretty brutal downslide. And this wasn't a crazy swing in the opposite direction, but it was the right step in the right direction. My strategy last week was like no tinkering, I think was what I did. And I don't necessarily think my success was because of that. But it did kind of work in a sense. But we'll look at the keepers and go on from there. So Matt Freese did hit for me for New York City FC. That was good. And then in defenders, Camacho and Morera, my Columbus Crew double up worked well. And Ellie got a 0, which is just crazy over 2 games. And then my other 2 spots, I played the 5-back, so they're just my scrubs. For midfielders, Evander did well, got a yellow card, so he didn't play the second game. Acosta got 16, Pooch got 11, Andres Gomez off my bench got 14, and Santi kind of flopped, got 9. I need to stop taking Santi Rodriguez in double game weeks. He never works out. Cucho did really well, got 42 points. He was my captain. Chicho did all right, 12 points. Bulunga did all right, got 12 points. So overall, this was pretty decent. I think this coming week, we'll go ahead and switch over to my team there. I think my strategy, I need to take into account form more. I've been saying that the last couple weeks, so I've tried to do that with this team. And I want to try to play the game a little bit. I've been crushing it in Copa America Fantasy. I want to play this game a little bit more like I'm playing that game. So like really, I think all there is that I need to be focusing on right now is like matchup quality, who's in form, and take the best players from the best teams. And that sounds kind of dumb because that's I think what you should do probably in general, but maybe that makes a little bit of sense. It makes sense to me. We're gonna start with and not be afraid of like tripling up, which is what I'm doing right here. So we'll start with keepers and we'll move on from there. So I've got Celentano on my bench, hosting Charlotte. I think if Celentano gets like a 3 or a 4, I might even consider taking him. Probably not a 3, but if he gets a 4 or higher, I'll probably stick with him. If not, I have to pivot to Yarborough, which I definitely don't want to do. Defenders, I'm going full Houston triple up. The defensive options are just so poor this week. I don't really see a reason to not go all in here. Maybe I could take. In fact, I don't know why I have Big Eric in over Escobar from Houston as well. Escobar is probably a better choice. Where is Houston? Here we go. But now that I think about it, I could switch out one of these guys for Wagner, just for some bonus point production. I don't hate that idea. I'm not going to do it yet. But if I did do that, I could take Celentano out and stick Clark on my bench. Basically be the same thing. In fact, it's basically picking between Celentano and Wagner. I think I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna stick Wagner on my bench, and I'm gonna take out Escobar for him. But I want to keep my Houston guys lined up. So I'm gonna mess with it for a minute. So that's the strategy. That's the move. I don't mind it at all. I think that's actually what I'm gonna pivot to. Then I can take Steve Clark. So always hit save. Don't forget to hit save. So that's what I'm doing, I guess, thinking defensive-wise. Maybe that switches back out, but for now I'm going to keep it like that. I've got Sailor and Allen. Sailor's my captain at the moment. As my scrubs, I'm running the 5-3-2, even though it's a double game week. This just kind of felt right. I've got Acosta, Pooch, and Evander starting, just, big hitter guys. I've got Peck starting, and then I've got Buwanga starting too, but actually I think I'm going to start Ryan Gauld over Denny Buwanga, keep him on the bench. So that'll have Diego Luna. I don't quite trust Luna enough to start him, even though he is in crazy good form right now, and I think he's going to do well in this game. I think I wouldn't start him over any of these guys. And then I've got Chicho Buwanga on the bench, like I mentioned. I got Gabriel Peck starting. I might take a big swing and captain Peck this week, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to captain somebody who's away, and I almost want to captain. I'll probably just captain Acosta. I think it's like the safest pick, but I might switch it. I don't know. I'm pretty far behind in what's it called? Fantasy, the Champions League, and I do want to make it. So if I wanted to swing big, I would probably cap Gabriel Peck, or even maybe Pooch. You know what? I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna take a big swing here, and I'm gonna captain Peck. I don't really think it's a very good choice, but I don't know. I almost want to captain Gauld too. I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'm going to captain Peck. I think Peck was like the number one guy getting into my team this week, and I'm just going to stick with it like that. This is basically where I'm at the moment. It could change. It could change, but for now, let's leave it there. Let's call it there. Thank you all so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. For every person who does so, Pancake does get an extra treat, and she does love that. Remember, always go with your gut when you're picking your team. Don't worry too much about what I'm doing. Stick with what your heart says. And thank you all so much for watching.